Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Nation's Leaders from Coast to Coast podcast, where we spotlight political figures shaping America's narrative, coast to coast. I'm Stephen.
And I'm Leah. Today we're in the heartland to discuss Indiana Representative Jim Baird, a lawmaker whose life story of military service, academic achievement, and farming is truly remarkable.
His personal story is incredibly powerful, particularly his service in the Vietnam War. Let's start there, because it's foundational to who he is.
It absolutely is. Jim Baird served as a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. He led infantry platoons, and his service was distinguished. He was awarded the Bronze Star for meritorious service in a combat zone. He was also wounded in action on 2 separate occasions, for which he received 2 Purple Hearts. In a transport mission, his helicopter was shot down, and during the ensuing ambush, he suffered a severe injury that resulted in the loss of his left arm. His story is one of incredible bravery and profound sacrifice, and that experience as a combat veteran deeply informs his work and his character.
To come home after an experience like that and then build the life he did is just extraordinary. What did his career look like after he returned from the war?
His post-military career is a testament to his resilience. He didn't just readjust to civilian life, he excelled. He went back to school on the GI Bill and earned a master's degree and then a Ph.D. in animal science, specializing in monogastric nutrition from the University of Kentucky. So he is, in fact, Dr. Jim Baird. Alongside his academic pursuits, he had a long career in agriculture, managing his family's farm in Indiana, and he also co-owned a home healthcare business with his wife for many years. So before he ever ran for Congress, he had already had full, successful careers as a soldier, a scientist, a farmer, and a small business owner.
He served at the local and state level before his election to Congress in 2018. In Washington, he seems to have found the perfect committee assignment for his background.
He certainly did. He serves on the House Agriculture Subcommittee, which is a vital role for a representative from a major farm state like Indiana. But more specifically, he is the chairman of the Subcommittee on Conservation, Research and Biotechnology. This position allows him to directly leverage his Ph.D. and his farming experience. His subcommittee oversees the research and development that drives modern agriculture, everything from developing more resilient crops and improving soil health to advancing the science of animal health. It's a role that connects perfectly with the major agricultural research being done at Purdue University, which is in his district.
So he's a key player in writing the Farm Bill and setting the direction for agricultural innovation. What are his other priorities in Congress?
Given his background, he is a passionate advocate for veterans' issues. He understands the challenges facing veterans, from healthcare at the VA to transitioning to civilian life, on a deeply personal level. He also serves on the Science, Space, and Technology Committee, which again aligns with his background as a scientist and allows him to weigh in on a broad range of federal research and development initiatives. Politically, he is a mainstream conservative Republican. His policy positions are grounded in a belief in fiscal responsibility, limited government, and a strong national defense. His approach is that of a serious, policy-focused legislator, not a partisan firebrand.
It sounds like his entire approach to public service is grounded in his very extensive life experience.
Completely. When he discusses veterans' affairs, he speaks with the authority of a wounded combat veteran. When he legislates on agriculture, he speaks as both a Ph.D. scientist and a man who has worked the land himself. And when he discusses the economy, it's from the perspective of a small business owner. He doesn't need to consult briefing books to understand these issues. He has lived them. This deep well of authentic, real-world experience is what defines him as a lawmaker and connects him so strongly with his constituents in Indiana.
That's our profile for today. Thank you for listening to the Nation's Leaders from Coast to Coast podcast. You can find show notes for this episode and links to our sources on our website, pointedwords.com. Please note, AI assists in the creation of this podcast from pointedwords.com. And remember, better pointed words than pointed swords.